Good morning, everybody. It's Lynn from A Bit of Birdsong. I've got to do something to get this more permanent, I guess, for the cold months. Right now, it's just sitting on this piece of wood that I bought at Joann's. I sort of created a conglomeration of crates, wood crates and wood shelves. And I got all of these from Joann's. I wanted a way to have the air conditioner where the air blows out unobstructed, but I still have space for things, and this worked out pretty nicely. There's so much stuff in here. You don't often see this side of the room. There's blank space on the wall, so that means I need to buy some more stuff. There is a shelf that I want to buy that's going to sit in here. Maybe I'll buy that today. Have had my eye on it, and just back up a little bit. That is where I make my journals and cut paper and fabric to make the covers and the signatures. It's normally cleared off. I brought some things in from the house where I was cleaning this morning, and then that's the paper making station back there. Probably going to end up making a shelf across here to hold the heater, because I'm going to need that this winter. Anyway, that's where we are at the moment. But I'm going to sit down at the art desk and we're going to look at a page I'm making for the new journal. The dried flowers we were playing with yesterday, I went ahead and took out the ones from the walk that Jason and I went on. I hope you can see these. There's got to be a better piece of paper to show you how pretty these are. And I'm going to have to make sure I put this in front of something plain. What I want to do is make a frame for this and turn it into a page. This is just some dried moss and then the 3 little flowers that I picked up when Jason and I went on a walk back in September. And it's so pretty. I'm just going to have to cut this down and make a little window for it, and then it's going to be a page in the journal, and I'm really excited about that. So I would probably, how do I want to do this? I want it to be sturdy enough to really be a good page. The first thing I need to do though is cut this to be 8.5 by 8.5. That's the size that maybe I'll take it to the paper cutter. That's what I'm going to do. I want it to be 8.5 by 8.5. We're going to sew a little frame around it, but I may do it. I want it to be sturdy enough to turn. So we're going to fold and create pages so that it's not just one 8.5 by 8.5 piece of paper that I somehow have to attach. I want it to have this fold of paper so that it can be part of a sturdy book page, if that makes sense. So let me take this and cut it, and I will be back. Let me see if I can do this in the way that I'm thinking. So I cut this to 8.5 by 8.5, and I want to fold. So I have 2 layers of paper because I want to put this in the center, and I also want to have this fold here. So that it's sturdy. I hope this is going to work out. I'll kind of figure it out as I go. Maybe as far as having a window here and then having to tape or sew these pages together. I hope that makes sense, because I know that folding this one in is going to bring it over here a little bit. So I need to figure out how I'm going to do this. I think what I'm going to do is start by folding this set, cutting out the window so that we can see this. That's going to be my first step, but I wanted to show you what I'm thinking. So let me go ahead and fold these pages to the proper size. I may have to cut a little bit more of the laminated page off to make sure that it's not too wide. And then we're going to have this one flip the same way because it's going to be folded the same way, and then the little laminated wildflowers with the moss. That's going to be in the center. So this is going to be like this. And maybe what I will do next is cut out a window, because that's going to be underneath here. So I want the frame, let's turn this way, I think. I wonder if I have something that could sit on here and give us a good size. That's not big enough. I'm sure I have something somewhere. I had... That's too tall. What do I have? Maybe a little book. Let's see if I have a square book somewhere in here. This might... We better just, if I lay this down and trace around it on the paper and then sort of flip it over about that far in, let's see if that will work. And I need some paper clips. I know there they are. I know I have some somewhere. I like the rusty paper clips. I need to rust some more metal. Okay, so I think if we take that's making a mark. So then I'll just flip the book this way. Okay, I made a really light mark. Put that book back. And if we get started with something sharp, oops, that's the wrong thing. Like an X-Acto knife. Or a craft knife. Then maybe we can get the scissors in here and do a neat job of this. So I will cut all the way around, cut out this square, and then we're going to slide the laminated page into this window we've created, and then I'm going to sew around the edge so that it stays, and then we've got to think of a way to attach the pages so that this window doesn't get covered up. I'm sure it will be fine. There we go. Oops. I like that. So what I need to do now is paper clip it again so that we have everything lined up just right. And then I can take it to the sewing machine and get this part done. Sew that into place. There is a part of me that feels like we should stain the other side of this paper a little bit, the inside, so that it doesn't look white next to the laminated sort of the clear window, because that just takes away from the look of that. So I'm going to put some distress ink, maybe even some of this rusty hinge. Right on the edge of the inside here. Ooh. Whoa, that's getting low. I need to get some new distress inks. That's going to be a lot better, I think. I just really don't think we want that to look white around the edge with that pretty botanical window in there. So there's that one. And then let's do this one very quickly. Don't want to tear it. There's not much ink left in this thing. I need to buy some more, and I saw some at Joann's, so I don't know what I'm going to be buying. And then let's definitely, like, you can see the white edge of the paper in some of these little spots. It's in the little details sometimes for something like this. There's one little piece of paper that's hanging off there. Okay. I think that's going to look better. It's a small thing, but I think it's going to make a huge, huge difference. Okay. Make sure the flowers are turned the right way. Yeah, that makes a big difference. Just that little bit of ink makes it look older and more authentic, I guess. Okay, now I can sew this down, and I will figure out a way to add the paper to the other side. So I'm going to turn the camera off for now. This turned out so great. I'm so excited about this, and I learned a new trick. What I did was cut this side of the pages. Instead of making a fold, I just cut them 8.5 by 8.5, which is the size of the pages in this journal, and I slid them into this fold over on this side. And of course it wasn't sewn together at that point. It was just loose, 2 layers like that, and I had sewed over on this side. So I went to the sewing machine and just sewed around this way to keep it all together, and look at these pockets I ended up with. that's such a cool way to have pockets on each side of this. That looks like a scary face in there. The downturned mouth and the nose, the nostril, the eye. I love this. And then we're going to make sure we have on the page behind it, I want it to be just the pretty black walnut stain. So I think that's going to be really pretty and botanical. Oh, I love the way this turned out. Well, I'm going to stop this video because I know it's starting to get long and I would prefer shorter videos. I've already said they take a whole lot less time to upload to YouTube. So I will be back really soon. We'll keep working in this. I hope you got some good ideas from this, and I will see you soon. Bye for now.